and they saw a light go around them in a circle that they thought was the sun, or that they...
So I thought it was the sun? It is the sun, Dean. Check this out. And you tell me if this is something that you stand behind. And I guess it is, because you have to. And that's the problem. You should be able to think for yourself. But let's hear.
The sun move in a circle around them in Antarctica. Let me just go and tell you right now. You don't think Satan could pull that off?
Satan.
Oh, yeah. And let me tell you something else.
Now it's Satan who disguised himself as a ball of light and circled me in Antarctica because these guys are desperate. Why would somebody say that unless it did matter? Remember, people said it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter what the sun does, Jaron. We can't decide the shape of the ground. How many times have I told you how wrong that is? How many people keep saying it? It's ridiculous. Nobody's saying that because of the lights in the sky, we can tell the shape of the ground. We are saying that the lights in the sky have a very predictable, and by very, I mean like precise, and I mean by for the last thousands of years, the lights in the sky have a predictable motion that we know and we understand. It's called the Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn, equinox. The sun varies in between those ranges. It's above the people's heads at each spot for a certain part of the year. So we know what the frickin' sun does. That's what's important. As soon as you know what the thing on the ceiling does, okay, let's say you're in your bedroom. It doesn't matter where you're at. If something on the ceiling does a predictable pattern, and you get to know that pattern, okay, I get it. Then if you have a map, and that map, you look at the map and you try and jive it with that motion of the ceiling, you can disprove, okay, you can falsify a map. Because if the map that you're looking at doesn't coincide with the known motion of the things in the sky, then that map cannot be correct. It's that simple. Why is this difficult? Why is this difficult? Okay. Now, the map that I have promoted for 9 years, 10 years, the AE map, which I thought worked and doesn't. Okay. It is now fatally flawed. And I just don't understand why, when we got back, why people couldn't just say, all right, good point. It's flawed. The map is flawed. So let's go back to the drawing board. Let's stop being so cocky. But no, that's not what happened. People said it was fake. Half of them said it was fake. Half of them said it doesn't matter. What happened with Eric Dubé? Eric Dubé started out by saying, oh, it's actually not even a big deal if it circles, because Lady Blount said it did, even though she says later, we can't explain this. We have no explanation for it. We just are admitting it's a fact. But you notice that Eric Dubé, who probably knew that when he wrote his 200 proofs, he left that out and actually put the proofs in that said that the sun didn't circle in the south. Then as soon as we said, hey, we're going to go down there and look at it, he said, oh, it does circle in the south. And you guys accepted it. So there's going to be a trend tonight that I want you to notice. It's whatever flat earthers say, flat earthers accept. And whatever goes against our model, flat earthers call fake. And they think they're in some sort of power position. This is the thing that got me the most upset, is the cockiness of flat earthers where there is none deserved. There's none deserved. Just going around saying we don't have a model, we don't have a map, does not make you able to be cocky. We don't have a model, we don't have a map. Sit down. Go back to class, go back to the drawing board, do it again till you come up with something. But what Flat Earth does is they try to push themselves to the front of the row, to the front of the class, but they don't have anything. Oh, but we have all the facts, Jaron. We know that water lies. Okay, it will never, again, I'll repeat to you, Flat Earth will never take over anything. You will, in 5 years, be doing the exact same thing, but you'll have less friends, less family, less money, less hopes and dreams, less truth. That's what comes with time with the Flat Earth. Why? Because everybody here is just wanting clicks, wanting drama. What can we talk about on our channel today and tomorrow and the next day so that we get more clicks, more drama, more dopamine hits? Nobody is doing the work. And I repeat, nobody. Now you might say, oh, there are some people doing the work, Jaron. Okay, well, they're not producing anything. What are they producing? If you're talking about Stephen Alonso and his lies, I mean, he's just making things up. I saw him today, and we'll look at it in a second. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting scary. Like, I am appalled at some of the stuff I see and being said and agreed with. I mean, who's this King Nico? Where did this guy come from? A magician or something? Guy's out of his mind. These people have no idea. They haven't been here for 10 years. And here's Dean Odle saying that we can manipulate weather.
We know can manipulate the weather. We know this from the book of Job. Satan can manipulate the weather.
Oh.
And we know the United States government can. Right? Why is everybody up in arms? See, one reason I've sat back and just watched all the hoopla about all this, because I'm like, I don't care if you see 15 suns in the sky and they do whirlabouts. God's word is true.
Okay, so that is the problem right there. Okay, what Dean Odle just said is the problem for a majority of flat earthers. He just said that it doesn't matter how many suns you see, it doesn't matter what you see in the sky, it doesn't matter what you see. So now, to Dean Odle, it doesn't matter if you measure curve. It doesn't matter if you take him up to space and show him the earth. God's word is true. Now, of course, is that God's word? I have contention about that. What I don't understand is why Christians think it's okay to pick and choose from the Bible and not adhere to the whole thing. Romans 11 says, all government is placed there by God. To go against the government is to go against God. Yet every one of those Christians that I know and everybody that watches my channel, and myself included, chose not to get vaccinated, chose to go against government wishes. But if you tell them, well, that was going against God, they say, what are you talking about? I did what God would have wanted me to do. Okay, so then what's wrong? Then why are we going to say some things from the Bible and not others? That's my problem with that. But I won't get into that. That's another subject altogether, and that will just piss people off to no end. I accept religion. And let me tell you this to flat earthers. If your religion is flat earth, I have no problem. If you have a religious belief in flat earth, I have no problem at all. But you cannot enter into scientific discussions. Okay? The no map, no model, no claim, that kind of thing, we don't make any claims. Okay, that science is making claims. That's what science is. It's making claims and then backing them with evidence, showing which test can show which is the most likely answer, or what is most backed up by examples or testing. So if you don't make claims, then you don't do science. And why did we ever think it was okay to do so? I keep bringing up this analogy, and I know people don't like it, but I don't really care. It's the way it feels to me. Let me just explain. It's as if we have a bowling alley with the PBA bowling team. They're bowling, they're throwing their balls, they're having a great time. And next to them is a group of children. They're loud, they're obnoxious, they are just kind of sad and dirty noses. And they ask for bumper balls. Can we get the bumpers in the gutters, please? Sure. So, place turns on the bumpers, they're using bumpers. And then they're turning to the PBA bowlers and making fun of them, saying, ha ha, you guys can't even bowl. Look at that guy just bowling in the gutter. We never bowl gutter over here. They're like, well, yeah, you're using the bumpers. And then they've got a couple teammates that say, like, what about these guys? Do they bowl too? And they say, we don't throw no balls. We don't have any lanes, but you guys suck and don't know what you're doing and are terrible. What? People would laugh them out of the building. Like, you don't get to come to the bowling alley and talk shit when you have nothing. This one, I just want to finish off with the Satan. Is Satan the one who put the sun up in the sky, guys? Now, some of you might say it is.
They knew, because they're Satanists, some of them, and they saw a light go around. All these weird anomalies.
No anomalies.
Not even going to. I'm just going to say, they went and they saw a light.
This is what you guys need to realize. If you're me, just realize that every single person that I used to think was a good researcher, from Level Earth Observer to Plain Truth to Don't Sphere the Truth to Eric Dubé to Sov to you name it, they all turned out to be trash. They're trash researchers. How do I know that? Because I went on the trip. I was there. It's clear. It's obvious. It's obvious. And yet, if we can't even decipher that, how can we expect ever to do anything? And the answer is you cannot. So I'm just here's the thing, because you might be hating me, flat earthers. I'm just telling you, I'm making a prediction. You will be in the same spot and nothing will happen. Nothing will ever, not with this bunch. Do you see what happened here? If something goes against our worldview, we have to figure it out. That's what should happen. If you call it fake and move on, you'll never do anything. You'll never go anywhere. You'll never have a map. You'll never have a model. But some people are happy with that. Why? Because Stephen Alonso is going to make money. These guys are going to make money. So to them, they don't really care. Go, Dean.
And they saw a light go around them in a circle that they thought was the sun.
It is the sun, Dean. We zoomed in on it with a camera. You know what those are? And took pictures of the sunspots. You know what those are? And they're the same ones that are there from somebody taking a picture at the same time in the north.
Or that they knew because they're Satanists.
Oh, okay. They knew because they're Satanists.
Some of them. That Satan would be there to help them. Because listen, folks.
Wow.
Satan has a lot invested in this deception.
Do you realize where this goes? I'm just wondering if people can grasp that if you can get away with saying what Dean Odle's saying right now, then you can get away with anything. Dean Odle, the same guy, am I mistaken, or is he the one that said, I think he is. Dean Odle, wait, is Dean Odle the one who said that 9/11, that God came to him? God, I can't remember if that was Dean Odle or not. I think it was. So God came to Dean Odle 3 days before 9/11 and told him that a plane would be crashing into a building in New York. And that he didn't tell anybody because he didn't know why God told him that. And then he saw it happen. He's like, oh, that's why God told me. So that's what God does. God talks to Dean Odle. I believe it. Tells him about 9/11.
He has spent hundreds of years crafting this deception about changing the nature of creation so that people won't believe the Bible. He built NASA to help you out with this one. Think about that.
So now Satan built NASA. Satan. He actually says that Satan created himself as a ball of light and went around the sky. That's what he says. Satan was what I saw in the sky, not the sun. Even though I left Punta Arenas, I guess is Satan always the sun, Dean? I need help here. Because this is just convoluted nonsense bullshit.
Deception.
And I don't know why we ever allow it to happen. And just everybody in the crowd, oh, yeah, that's true. It could be that. Again, if you want to remain here for 10 years and get nowhere, you're in the right spot. Just be a flat earther. Follow Dean Odle. You will get nowhere. You will accomplish nothing. You'll lose more friends. You'll lose more family. If something goes against your worldview, you need to change your theory, or you need to accept it. It's a religion that you have, right? So I don't have a religion of flat earth. I don't. I measured the earth and it showed up to be level and flat. So I said, okay. So I looked at water, said water lies flat. Okay. They lied about me in an experiment. I said, okay, that's even more proof. They lied about Stephen Hawking's experiment. I said, okay, now we got something. They lied on Nat Geo. Okay, for sure. They don't have 24/7 cameras at the South Pole. Okay, this is for sure. And then we went down and checked and I realized I was wrong. So why am I the only one? They can say, oh, I was wrong. Let's reevaluate. Now here's the problem. When I said that, people flipped out, called me a shill because I reported what I saw. Now, if you can't see the problem here, that in the future, people are not even going to come forward anymore. Let's say somebody's out, they're doing some testing and they find curvature. They test it, they find it. They do, okay, great. Do you realize that person will be afraid now to come out and say it? The flat earth is shut down. There can be no new information. Nothing can be grown upon. It is now a dogmatic religious belief. And I got into flat earth to get away from religion, and now I'm getting out to get away from religion again.